for bird lovers and bird haters alike. There's no denying that birds can be pretty vicious animals. They may be covered in soft feathers, but they don't hesitate to attack when they feel threat or if they want your food. From blue jays to eagles, here are 15 epic bird attacks caught on camera. Number 15. Eagle hunting monkey. Just moments before this beautiful crown eagle had killed a Simango monkey, the eagle was attempting to transfer his kill, but the video demonstrates how heavy it is. As cars begin to pile up, the eagle became agitated and flew into a nearby tree, leaving his kill on the side of the road. This eagle has captured a monkey in order to feed his family. It returns the kill to the nest, where the family can feast on a hearty meal. This eagle brutally killed his poor monkey, and the eagle decides to eat a little brain before flying away for the afternoon. Number 14. Seagulls. A single predator rules over this haven. The world's largest gull, the great black-backed gull, is out looking for food on this day to catch their prey. They use keen vision and excellent flying ability, but the nimble rabbits can quickly hump away into the safety network of the burrows. Unsuccessful hunts raise the stakes, and with chicks on the way, the stakes are high for gulls to sustain themselves and their nesting partners. It's not uncommon to see obstinate gulls battling for a helpless prize, and for those who win, as tensions rise, their reward is a delectable meal which can be gulped down rather alarmingly as food for a seagull. A rat is almost as common as a fish or sparrow. True, there are larger rats that are nearly the size of a rabbit. Nothing can prevent a gull from devouring a rat whole. While hunting mallard chicks from the air, a large gull catches and consumes a small duck chick. Many young flightless ducks are swimming around looking for food in hand. As they can't fly away, they are easy to catch and eat, which is why a predatory bird will hunt and find them. A wide variety of predators and predatory birds prey on young flightless ducks. Gulls are predatory flying birds that hunt and eat a wide variety of aquatic animals as well as grains, nuts and seeds and fruits. When the opportunity arises, gulls have an uncanny ability to attack and consume other animals. Number 13. Magpies. This bird doesn't appear to be bothered by the presence of this crazy magpie, but it should be. The magpie waits a few seconds before striking, then violently grabs the bird and flees. A few feet away from where they met, the magpie continues to attack the bird before walking away. This magpie attacks this rat, and the rat doesn't get back up. After the killer bird has softened the rat, the magpie transports it to a more secluded location to eat it. When the owner of this house went outside to investigate the noise he had heard, he found two blue tits fighting a magpie. He couldn't see anything out of his bedroom window, so he went through the bathroom window. He missed most of the attack, and by the time he got his camera, the little guy was either dead or on his way to his funeral. The person filming had no idea magpies were so dangerous. Number 12. Jackdaws. This jackdaw is no pity for the sparrow when it sees it. It jumps it immediately and plucks it to death. This jackdaw attacks a rat on the sidewalk. The rat tries to get away, but the jackdaw keeps pulling it by the tail to get closer to it. It looks kind of funny, but I'm sure the rat doesn't appreciate it. Here is a jackdaw biting into a small snake. It takes the jackdaw a lot of pecks to soften up the snake so we can eat it. The snake doesn't have the time to escape because the bird is pecking it relentlessly. Number 11. Great horned owls. One of America's largest and most powerful owl species can be found here. The great horned owl. He looks down into a forested clearing as dusk gives way to darkness. His vision has been fine-tuned so he can see in the dark. But perhaps most importantly, he pays attention. His earlier horns are made up of feather tufts. Nobody knows what they are for, but they have nothing to do with hearing. His actual ears are hidden beneath the feathers on his head. In this video, two American bald eagles are nestling on a tree in a farm when a great horned owl pays them a visit in the middle of the night and attacks them while they are sleeping. Knock one of them out of the nest. A rabbit is exchanged. After a quick chase for this owl, the male owl killed it and the female owl now returns it to the nest. While out walking his dog, an owl was attacked by a hawk, knocking him down from a palm tree. Everything happened in real time, and the man wished he had his camera with him at the time. This brief video depicts the aftermath of the attack, as well as the owl's cries for help. The man claims he has no idea owls made this kind of noise. You don't come across a hunt like this every day. This gray-horned owl was spotted with a muskrat in its mouth. In developed areas, gray-horned owls are generalist hunters, preying on everything from birds to small animals, including the occasional pet cats. It's a thrilling new experience to see this one hunting in open water. Number 10. Eagle versus snake. A brown snake eagle tries to eat a venomous snouted cobra in this rarely seen encounter. Captured in South Africa's Kruger National Park, a cobra's venom is lethal to the nervous system. The eagle creeps cautiously around its prey as it circles it to deflect its predator. The cobra employs feints. Because the eagle is not immune to the venom's effects, it decides to abandon the hunts because the banded sea snake's venom is so potent it can kill a scuba diver. Most underwater predators avoid sea snakes on a regular basis. The real threat to them comes from the Sky Snake Island, is a small piece of limestone off the coast of Malaysia that is home to hundreds of sea snakes. Don't be fooled by the calm right now. These snakes have arrived on the island to breed, and the competition for potential mates will be fierce tonight. Sea snakes spend most of their time in the water, but they lack gills because their lungs stretch almost the entire length of their bodies. To fill them, they must swim to the surface to breathe, making them vulnerable. This white-bellied sea eagle has youngsters to feed, so it's out looking for them. Armed with keen vision and razor-sharp talons, the eagle has mastered the snatch and grab. And one of her favorite prey is the sea snake. The eagle snatches the snake, but the snake isn't going down without a fight. The snake begins to fight back as the eagle flies towards the nest with her prize. He can bite even in midair. He might be able to kill his abductor if he manages to inject his venom. But fighting an enemy in midair is difficult, especially for a creature that spends most of its time in the water. It's too little, too late for the snake. An eagle lands on a snake in a park and punctures it with its talons. The snake does not appear to be able to repel the eagle, and the reptile appears to be dying slowly. Another snake is caught in the talons of a large eagle, and the bird of prey bites the snake several times while forcefully holding it down. The snake has its mouth open and appears to be wailing for its mother. Number 9 on the Falkland Islands. Avian parents must remain vigilant. Kookaburras are on the lookout, and an unattended nest can quickly turn into a buffet for these ferocious carnivores. The Johnny Rook is a bird that gets right in your face. These cunning animals, known as the Flying Devils, are the kookaburra of the Falkland Islands, and they gather with their young to scare both large and tiny species. They are fearless birds. Number 8. Skiwa. Skiwas are among the most hazardous bird predators in Antarctica. Adult skiwas eat penguins, especially if they're young. But even adults' blood is streaming out of this newborn penguin as a skiwa pokes holes in it. After killing it, the skiwa consumes it. This skiwa is attempting to assault these 3 juvenile penguins, but the penguins team up to repel the skiwa. They are terrified of the skiwa, but every now and then one of them charges the predator, causing him to flee. The penguins aren't going down without a fight. They continue to back up, but they do not allow the skiwa to harm them. The skiwa becomes irritated, and the penguins eventually persuade it to leave them alone. A brown skiwa outsmarts a female penguin who is in the middle of incubating 2 eggs, stealing one of them. As shown in this video, skiwas frequently search for newborn penguins alone, and the penguins either flee or challenge the skiwa. It all depends on how they are feeling at the time, in my opinion. Number 7. Hawk attack seagull. This squabble began when the seagull wanted to ride in the hawk's carriage to go shopping. But the hawk told the seagull it had arrived first. When the seagull objected, the hawk had no choice but to intervene, which it did, by employing force. However, the hawk had an emergency to attend to, so the seagull was left uninjured. I'm not sure if hawks made a habit of attacking seagulls in parking lots, but here is another hawk pinning a seagull in the middle of a parking lot. Apparently, the hawk worked security one of the stores in the mall, and the seagull stole a candy bar. That's what happens when you break the law. Another seagull is captured by mall security, but this time the hawk has no mercy and kills the seagull. Crime does not pay. This hawk grabs the seagull and drags it across the road where there is a lot of traffic. The hawk decides it's hungry and eats the seagull for lunch. Number 6. Shrike attacks and kills prey. The shrike is a songbird that looks like a raptor and has raptor-like features. Shrikes are unable to hold their prey long enough to devour it, so they implement on nearby spikes. They frequently aggregate kills among prickly shrubs to establish territory or attract females. This loggerhead shrike swoops down on a sparrow and begins dragging it around while eating it. This little bird reminds me of several of the larger animals we've seen in other countdowns. A loggerhead shrike kills another sparrow. This poor little boy was doomed from the start. This shrike delivered the bird to the slaughterhouse and wasted no time in getting it ready for dinner. The shrike impales the bird and plucks its feathers. The shrike is a lethal predator for such a little bird, as this shrike tears portions of flesh from the deceased bird. Another sparrow bites the dust. In the dead of winter, the shrike kills and eats the sparrow. When the shrike is hungry, it appears the weather or the seasons don't matter. Number 5. Giant petrel versus penguin. This penguin is being devoured by these gigantic petrels, and the scene appears like a crime scene. Because it is. These giant petrels resemble a pack of wild wolves, gnawing and shredding flesh until there's nothing left. Adult penguins stand by, observe, but do nothing. A giant petrel appeared when juvenile penguins were learning to swim. Because the lower part of the penguin's skull has less muscles, the petrel may attack with its beak more easily. The Jetsu penguin and his cub are in love. Will Daddy Penguin be able to save his children? The small penguin escapes once the bandit petrel loses its grip on him. Dad slaps and whips the offender in the midsection. The petrel flees and the child makes it up the beach to safety. Thanks to his father's bravery, I have no idea what these petrels are eating. Because they have destroyed this bird, they essentially left only the skin behind. It appears to be a seagull, but we don't know for sure until forensics examine the dead bird's dental records. This gigantic petrel is devouring this baby penguin alive. And every time it tears flesh from its body, the penguin moves, pleading for compassion. But the petrel continues to feed, and the penguin will die in due time. Number 4. Seagull attack pigeon. This seagull crashes into the water to kill this penguin. It looks like the penguin did have much of a chance. Sewers were taking a stroll in Kinesk, France, when they saw the seagull attacking and killing a pigeon. Just when a woman runs to the penguin's rescue, the seagull flies off with it. The seagull continued the massacre on the sidewalk, but the pigeon was still alive. This seagull attacks a pigeon on the roof of the house. The pigeon flaps its wings, but the seagull is not impressed and doesn't let go. The seagull begins to pull feathers out of the pigeon before eventually getting to the meaty parts. This is a horrifying moment. A seagull ate another bird, scaring customers and passers-by away from their meal. The bird caught and ate a vulnerable baby penguin while it was still alive, shocking the audience. Some people were said to have fled the scene because it was so dreadful. Others, on the other hand, have the fortitude to not only witness, but also film the entire gruesome episode on their phones. The video begins with the seagull pursuing a baby pigeon around in a bored cafe when it swoops around the other side and snags the youngster with its beak, yanking it into the open. The penguin makes repeated attempts to flee, but is eventually pecked to death, the victim's body quivering as the killer seagull feasts on its guts. A seagull picks a great place to hunt pigeons and an open plaza where there are hundreds of them. Hence, you can imagine how easy it is for the seagull to target a victim and accomplish the mission. Number 3. Shrikes. This loggerhead shrike swoops down and drags a sparrow around while eating it. The small bird reminds me of a few of the larger animals from previous countdowns. The shrike is having a good time attempting to catch the small snake. On this day, it appears the shrike will have. As seen in the video, the shrike hunts a small mouse in the desert and has no problem flying away with it to impale it on a small branch. Another sparrow perishes as this shrike makes it succumb in the cold of winter. This shrike has killed this little frog. The shrike is looking for a good spot to impale. The frog tries to decide, but it seems to be undecided. Shrike is wrestling a lizard, and the lizard is giving the shrike a run for its money. Still, the shrike has the upper hand over the reptile and will soon impale it. Number 2. Greater cuckoos. These two greater cuckoos find a snake on the side of the road and attack it. Both birds attack the head of the snake, but the snake manages to pull away for a moment before the final blow is delivered by the birds. This great Oklahoma has hunted some goodies to bring back to the nest to feed its offspring. It looks like this tiny lizard is going to feed an entire family. This greater cookie seems to have found a snail in a yard and is trying to get some of that tender meat out of there. This greater cookie is up against a cobra, but it looks like the snake is trying to escape and the bird is the aggressor. This greater cucumber tries to kill a snake in the fields. By chance, the person filming happened to catch this has been observed feeding on snakes, particularly sass-tailed vipers. The snake appeared to be too big for the bird, and it appeared to be resting after a good meal. Number 1. Kestrel bird. This kestrel stands on its kill and enjoys the fruits of its labor. Occasionally, it looks up to make sure it's not being stalked by some crazy predator that might want its lunch and the kestrel as dessert. A kestrel hunts a pigeon in midair and takes it down to the ground in no time. Once on the ground, the kestrel's handler comes to get his prize. This kestrel takes down a pigeon on the roof of a building, and after a short struggle by the pigeon, it looks like the kestrel has made its kill. This kestrel took down a pigeon and is already plucking feathers from its body. For some reason, the kestrel abandons the pigeon and takes off. And although the pigeon appeared to be dead, it is still very much alive. But I'm not sure it's able to fly anymore. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they are uploaded. That's it for now.